Now we're going to look at the Supreme Court in the early 1960s. During the Kennedy presidency, the Supreme Court made major changes in American society. Under the leadership of Chief Justice Earl Warren, the court rulings extended individual rights and freedoms. These included voting rights reform, the rights of the accused, and religious freedom. Many historians regard Earl Warren as one of the most important Chief Justices. Warren did not have a positive record on civil rights when President Eisenhower appointed him Chief Justice in 1953. He had called for the internment of Japanese Americans during World War II, and he fought against the effort to make California's state assembly more representative of the people. However, as Chief Justice, Warren led the court to one of the most significant civil rights advances in U.S. history, that being the case of Brown versus the Board of Education of Topeka, Kansas, which banned racial segregation in the nation's schools. As far as voting rights reform, prior to legislation in the 1960s, states did not redraw boundaries of the legislative districts to reflect population changes. Then cases such as Baker versus Carr, 1962, Westbury versus Sanders, 1964, and Reynolds versus Sims, 1964, changed this practice to make each citizen's vote more equal. As far as the rights of the accused, one major Supreme Court case of the time period was Mapp versus Ohio. Another one was Gideon versus Wainwright. Mapp versus Ohio was from 1961. Gideon versus Wainwright was from 1963. Another one from the time period was Escobedo versus Illinois, 1964, and Miranda versus Arizona, 1966. And these cases extended the Bill of Rights to the actions of state governments. And in fact, it's where we now get our Miranda rights from, which of course is what people are read when they're arrested. They're informed of their Miranda rights, such as you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. These rights are now required by law, and they're referred to as your Miranda rights because they date back to this Miranda versus Arizona case. As far as religious freedom, another major case from the period was Engel versus Vitale in 1962, and in other cases. The Warren Court defined the religious guarantees of the First Amendment.